Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day out there, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Love coming out of you makes you happy. The whole world can love you, but that is not the love that will make you happy. What will make you happy is to share all the love that you have inside of you. That is the love that will make the difference. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 96, NASDAQ up 36, S&P's up 14, gold contract down $19.30, trading at $1,392 an ounce. Silver off 87 cents at $23.55 an ounce. Platinum down 39 bucks at $1,496 an ounce. Copper off 5.5 pennies at $3.23 a pound. Light sweet crude off $1.13, trading out at $107.41. Bonds down 14 ticks at $129.27. King dollar down 246 ticks at 82.15. The euro up 41 at 132.11, and the yen flat at 99.65. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Oh, baby, I'm telling you. Okay, so we take a look at this. What you got is this. When we broke the B point, which was on the 27th of August, broke the B point with volume. The B point in the S&P cash is 1639. So you go sideways 3 or 4 days. Yesterday we make the run. We get up to a price point of 1651.35, and we did it yesterday with 787 million. Bottom line, this little baby wanted to get into the gap. Now the gap number, folks, okay, you're going to love this. This is a trip. So the gap number is 1656.02. Well, guess what we went? 1655.72. Okay, so I missed it by what? What's that? 50 100ths. Bottom line, we get up there, you do 694 million. Now, 694 million is not bad, but bottom line, lighter volume, and you get into it and pull back underneath it. What we've done here is you got into the downdraft, closed underneath it by a tick. That's a failure in the S&P. Okay, so that's saying cash S&P, Dow Industrials want to go back down. Let's go over to the Dow for a second. We look at the Dow. We take a look at the Dow. So Dow Industrials, the Dow, by the way, is one of the weakest ones out here. So the Dow is up 96 bucks. The gap, well, not really showing on the gap. The beginning of the downdraft was 14,945. We got to 14,956. You closed at 930. So you get up to it, hit it, say what's going on, back off. That's saying, guess what? Dow's building cause to basically break down under the 14,551. Now, NASDAQ Composite, different animal. So here's the divergence. This is what it is. Composite goes up 36 bucks. The gap on the deposit is 3652.26. Now, when you're dealing with thousands of, in the thousands, and you get to it within a point, it's a mind blower, folks. But bottom line, this is what we did. We got to 3651.78. So in that particular case, well, we missed it by 4 100ths. Now, this is what the difference is. The NASDAQ Composite had volume come in it. NASDAQ Composite did 1.8 billion versus 1.6. And your 2 different benchmarks out here go like this, folks. When we came off the high, then the first downdraft off the high was August 15th. So inside the NASDAQ, August 15th, we did 1.7 million down. The second downdraft was on August 27th. On August 27th, we did 1.6. So you can see the correlation of how the NASDAQ went into it. Well, you go into it with the same amount of volume. That's saying that, guess what? That gap still wants to get closed on the NASDAQ. That's how that's set up. Missed it by a point, but guess what? It wants to get closed. In correlation, and this is where it's going to get wild. In correlation, I expect where the cash S&P, we might just go test it again tomorrow morning, and then, that's it. The cash S&P, what the difference is that we did 694 million. That was going into the 700 787 and 725. So bottom line, in that correlation, let's go over the SPY. We'll take a look at the ETF structures so you can see what's happening in the ETF structures. Start with the SPY. The SPY got to a price point today of 166.03. We were looking for 165.89. You got into that level. You closed under it. And what we also did is that we got over the downdraft, which was the 27th, by 1 penny, and closed under it. So that's a failure in the SPY. We did 90 million shares versus 158 million. Okay, so that's bottom line. ABC structure on the way down is still in place. We look at the 3 Qs, NDX 100. What we have with the 3 Qs, the 3 Qs did 25 million shares. You're going into 27 million. You can see the 3 Qs themselves, they want to basically, they got to a price point today of 76.84, which they got into that gap, and they closed in that gap. So they closed inside the trading day. So that's saying that, hey, guess what? That good old shooting star at 77.28 wants to get tested. That shooting stars, by the way, folks, love to get tested. The test, it's nice that it's earlier rather than later, but they just love to get tested. We go and take a look at the small caps. We do look at the IWM. What do you have with the IWM? Week, 22 million shares, up 89. The 22 million folks was going into 47 million. So the small caps basically don't have it. The cash, the S&P doesn't have it. NASDAQ, bottom line, it looks like it wants to test once again. Gold contract. We're going to take a look at gold. What you have with gold is this. Gold is down 19 bucks. We do 132,000 contracts out here, and that's shot volume on the way down, folks. First off, we had a low of yesterday with high volume, which is 1373, so that's going to get tested. I suspect what we're going to do in this gold market is get somewhere back into about the 13 area to 1300 area. Bond market, we go take a look at bonds, what we did with bonds out here. USZ3, bond market out here, we did 248,000 contracts, and that's going to be light numbers. That's the bottom line. So we did we're at 128.28. That was going into 450,000 contracts. We only did 248. That little baby right there, folks. It didn't reject lower price yet, but it's going to need a lot more juice in order to get to lower price. When you take a look at the bond market, if you want to see something that's pretty amazing, it's amazing the bond market isn't down more. PIMCO just come out with the amount of money that was pulled out of just their fund, folks. Out of the PIMCO Total Return Fund, last month, $41 billion was pulled out. $41 billion. That's 14% of its assets in 1 month. That's absolutely. That just came across the tape about 20, 30 minutes ago. We'll see if anything. First off, that's one of the largest funds in the world, not just bond fund, largest funds in the world. I don't know if I've ever seen that much money come out of a fund, and the fund's still in basically decent shape, good shape, actually. That's amazing. Dollar index. We go take a look at the dollar. We have what the dollar is this. Dollar's doing an ABC structure on the way up, folks. Pull back 222 today, and we did that on 21,000 contracts. We were pushing high yesterday with 31,000 contracts. The dollar index right now at that 82.18. She'll build some cause. Let me see it's only small ABC. It's 80.7. Oh, it's $2. It's not bad. So $2 gives you 84.10. That's the next move in the dollar. The high swing point on that dollar is 84.95, and I do expect we're going to run up to that level, at 82.95. Silver contract. We go take a look at silver. What we had with silver today, she pulls back with 45,000 contracts. And, of course, silver is always more volatile than gold. What you do have with silver is that she came into the lows of yesterday and actually closed right at those lows. Silver right now is at the 23.50 50 area. I expect that she's going to be pulling back somewhere into the 2170 area. It's Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. Folks, if you haven't signed up yet for our $10,000 giveaway trading contest, you only have until tomorrow at 12 Eastern Standard Time. You know, and it's a drop-dead date, folks. So, you know, we can't go 1 minute over that. So check it out on the front page of TFNN. It's free. We're going to be right back.